patience, your flexibility, and more importantly, the turnout. You know, we get together every week, sometimes several times a week, and some of the subject matter we cover is tragic. Some of it's important, meaningful information that needs to go to our community. The information we're going to talk about today is heartbreaking. I mean, this is heartbreaking stuff. Any time that a police department has to go ahead and arrest one of its own is a sad day. In just a couple of moments, Deputy Chief Johnny Jennings is going to take to the lectern, talk about a significant recent arrest of a Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department police officer, try to walk you through some of the circumstances concerning investigation that began just several weeks back. I believe it was sometime in mid-August. Give you an idea of what that investigation involves and do his best to get some questions answered. I will say this before we get going, just to set the table somewhat. The arrest was made today. This is still very, very active. A lot of moving parts here. There may be some things that we can't discuss for criminal investigative reasons, some things we can't discuss for personnel reasons, and some things, quite honestly, we just may not know at this point. So we'll do our best to get those questions answered, and without further delay, Chief Johnny Jennings.
Thank you, Rob. Like Rob said, this is something that's very disheartening to the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. Try to give you as many details as I can, and then we'll be able to answer any questions. But this afternoon, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department arrested Officer Jennifer Wolf, age 37, with 5 counts of obtaining Schedule II controlled substance, particularly opioids, by fraud. She was arrested and taken to Mecklenburg County Jail at about 12:30 p.m. We began this investigation, as Rob said, around August 14th of 2017. We were contacted by an employee of Dance Dentistry in Matthews. The investigation revealed that Officer Wolf had obtained fraudulent prescription for painkillers from an employee of that practice. Wolf's assigned to the Metro Patrol Division, and we placed her on administrative leave immediately starting the investigation. I think that's important for everyone to know that as soon as this was brought to our attention, as soon as we were made aware of, she was immediately taken off the streets and placed on administrative leave so that the investigation can continue. And Matthews, as part of the investigation, Matthews Police have charged dental practice employee Roberta Porter in the case, and that is their investigation and their arrest as well. We are also conducting this investigation and continue to conduct this investigation in conjunction with Matthews Police Department. As alluded to earlier, it's very sad, disheartening. It shows that even as police officers, the addiction to opioids and the issue that we have, police are not immune to it, but at the same time, it is important to see that we are the ones that uncovered and determined that the best action is to bring forth criminal charges. So we want to ensure that we are doing everything we can as a police department to ensure that we put the best, we hold our officers to a high standard, and when we fall short, it's disappointing. But at the same time, in all transparency, we're going to do what we have to do when it comes time to take action against officers that are not doing what they're supposed to do and committing illegal acts. So again, as soon as we determined that she was being investigated, that this was a criminal offense, she was taken off the streets immediately so that the investigation could continue. So at this time, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to try and answer what I can.
Can you tell us how long she's been with the department and what division she was with, or what precinct?
Yeah, she's with the Metro Division. I don't have the exact length of time she's been on the department. That will be disclosed at a later time, though.
Yeah, I believe that, Jonathan, that'll be in the press release soon to follow.
Yeah.
Chief, just to make sure we got it right for clarification, was it you guys who received the complaint from an office, a medical office?
We received a complaint from the medical office, from an employee at the medical office. That complaint revealed that Officer Wolf was involved. It didn't initially begin with Officer Wolf, but it did reveal that she was involved in this.
So was it like is it like a ring or something?
Not, at this time, you're still early in the investigation. That's something yet to be determined, but at this point, there's no reason to believe that there is some sort of ring, criminal ring that's going on. So right now, as far as CMPD, Officer Wolf and Roberta Porter are the only ones of concern at this point. If further investigation reveals otherwise, then we will continue to follow up on that.
You believe she was using or was she selling?
There's no reason to believe that there was anything other than personal use. To tell you that we felt like she was selling, that would be a whole nother criminal offense, which we don't have it right at this point.
Why a dental office? Is it just her personal connection?
I think what you see here across the entire, when you start looking for prescription drugs, you use any resources that you can. This was something that she had a connection to. I don't want to get specifically into the investigation. However, it was a resource for her to obtain the opioids that she was seeking. So,
Had she been doctor shopping or pharmacy shopping or whatever prior to this?
there's nothing right now in the investigation that reveals that. So at this point, I can't answer that.
Did she work narcotics? Has she worked in narcotics?
No, she's a Metro Division officer. As far as I know, she's not ever been involved in any drug investigations or anything like that. So,
Had she? A lot of people get into this because they get hurt, or they have some injury, or they have something, and they get hooked on a prescription. Is her case anything like that, or was it? Or how would you characterize it?
I think it's important that we do get an understanding of that. I don't know at this point. I do know that there is a previous injury that she did have, but whether that led to this or not, that's something yet to be determined as well. And that's something that maybe only she can answer. So how this addiction occurred. So.
Do you all do any random drug testing?
Yes, we do. Yes, and we also do for-cause drug testing. Officer Wolf is not immune to either one of those, and so we are. That is part of what we do in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. So, did you have a question? I know you keep trying to.
Will she be seeking treatment through the jail or otherwise? Do you know?
That's something for the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office to answer. There are treatment programs there. Also, if she is released, that's it's upon her personal preference to seek some sort of treatment. But at this point, she is on unpaid leave until the investigation is complete with Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police.
Did that become unpaid when she was arrested or when she first went on leave?
When she was arrested, it became unpaid, yes.
What were the type of opiate drugs that she's accused of having in her possession?
I don't have specific prescription of that other than just painkiller drugs, so I don't have that in particular. So.
Chief,
Where
what
was
does
she
this say
arrested?
to you?
I'm sorry. Where was she arrested?
That's what I was asking.
Okay.
I didn't want to jump.
Okay, well, she was arrested here at headquarters and walked over to Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office.
Can you speak to how this is evidence of the power of the opioid crisis that we're dealing with?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that I can't get my grips around at this point. It just shows the power of that drug to have a career and to feel like that you become addicted. So I think it is a sickness that needs to be addressed. I wish her the best, that she gets help and she gets her life back on track. But the power of that to show what people are willing to risk, and it's police officers are not immune to it, and we see it every day in our profession. So it's very unfortunate. I just hope that anybody who's addicted to that can seek proper help and proper assistance to get back on track.
So we're saying that she had these drugs in her possession and she did not have a proper prescription for these particular drugs from that dental office.
Well, the evidence shows that she was obtaining the drugs through false prescriptions. So as far as the actual possession, that's something separate. So.
Any idea how long has she been abusing?
I don't know. I know that like I said, the investigation started August 14th. We had substantial information that we continued the investigation, which led up to the arrest today.
if she would have come forward and said, I have a problem, what would have been the procedure then? And are you guys taking a look at that for, you know, if she felt uncomfortable for whatever reason, are there others out there that might feel uncomfortable?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We have resources available to our officers for any type of addictions, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or anything. However, we also have an obligation to our citizens on the street to ensure that we are not putting someone that responds to calls for service or investigates cases that does have a drug problem or alcohol problem. So, so we do have treatment plans that are available within our programs in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. However, at the same time, we do have an obligation to ensure that we are not putting someone on the streets that shouldn't be.
Does that mean that if you come forward, there's a chance you could lose your job?
In certain cases, in certain addictions, yes. I think in certain addictions that we're obligated to ensure that this city is safe, and that the people that are keeping our city safe are the right people to have out there. So.
Okay, I'll do one more. We're going to let the chief get back to work.
You know, arrests obviously are made here on a regular basis, but to arrest one of your own, can you just speak about the difficulty of, you know, for the department to have to do that for, you know, a fellow officer?
That's a great question. You know, I can speak on behalf of Chief Putney as well that it's one of the hardest things that we do when you arrest one of your own, because the community and our citizens rely a lot on us to be able to protect and serve. And when we arrest one of our own, that's just a hiccup in what we're trying to accomplish. So it's difficult. You have officers that are out on the street that are doing the right thing every day, and it's unfortunate that things like this are what gets the attention of people, and also opens the door for criticism of our profession. But at the same time, we are resilient in what we do. We bounce back, and our officers understand that they are held to a higher standard. And when we make a mistake and do something illegal, then we're going to be held accountable for it.
Colleen, the last one.
Chief, can you tell me if does the arrest bring into question any of her cases? Is there any credibility issue at this point? Do you have to go back and look at stuff?
Absolutely, that is part of what we will do. I can't tell you for sure right now. What I can tell you is she was an officer in Metro. Some of the things that we will be looking at are some cases that she has, and that'll be determined at a later date.
We appreciate you.
All right.
The Chief referenced the information that'll be, thanks, Chief. That'll be coming out in the press release that should be coming to your desks as we speak. I know a number of you had questions or will have questions concerning the picture of the officer. I believe if you check the Mecklenburg County website, it should be up and posted on that as we speak as well. So, Jonathan.
It's 5 counts of possession of a controlled substance is the charges?
No, that's not. And just hold on for the press release, because I want to make sure we get that right. I don't want to split hairs with the legalese of it. I believe it's forged prescriptions, but just wait for the, I don't want to speculate. I believe that's what it is, but again, that should be coming to your desk momentarily.
Will the press release say which office she went to get it, or?
The dental office?
Is that the one in the map?
Yes, yes. I think it's named in the press release as well, if I'm not mistaken. All right, guys? You good, Jane? You look like you had something. All right, we appreciate it again on short notice. Thank you.